Hi, my love. I'm so happy to be here today. I feel like it's been ages, but it hasn't really been that long. But nowadays, with everything that's going on, time is just flying through. Okay, so I really hope you can hear me properly because I have listen, it's hot. And right now we are having a European summer, and we all know how most of the houses in Europe just have, in Western Europe at least that is, have no AC. So if you see me sweating like a pig, no judgment, please, okay? Let's get into it. We are talking about this new cycle. I have my notes here that I prepared. I don't know why I'm preparing notes. I know I'm not going to stick to them, but, anyways, first of all, I want to say welcome to this new cycle of Gemini. Is it Gemini? Oh my God, no. I'm thinking about many things at the same time. Okay, well, which one are we talking about today, Steph? Let me check my notes. Okay. Welcome to the new moon of Gemini, and I'm actually really excited about it. When was the new moon? Today is, by the way, I know I'm having zero credibility right now. I don't really know what day is today. What day are we? Well, I think today is the 15th. I'm recording this on the 15th, and on the new moon in Gemini, depending on where you are in the world, somewhere around last night till this early morning. So we've entered already, freshly entered this new moon cycle. And goodness, I don't have my glasses. Let's try to read those notes without glasses. And I wanted to talk about the new moon because I think this is a series that I'm going to start doing more regularly because I really love the new moon period. It's actually one of it's my favorite lunar cycle. We'll talk about the full moon another time, but I really love new moon and I've been taking it very seriously for a long while now. And that is something I want to incorporate more here on the podcast. And so, with this new moon in Gemini, let's talk a little bit about, because I know a lot of people are really into setting their intentions and all that thing. And I want to talk about more about what the new moon is all about. Check out the next episode where I'm going to dive into this. But today I don't want to make it too long. So I just want to talk about this new cycle, as in, this is your chance, your opportunity to plant your new seed. Every new moon is about a seeding period, as you can see it. This is why we have to understand. Some people might think, oh, well, you say that all the time. Well, yes, of course I'm going to say that every month, because every month we have a new moon and we have a full moon. It is the beginning of a new cycle. When we need to start understanding how life goes on in cycles, right? And the universe is on its own timing, whether you agree or not. But us slowing down and acknowledging these things, it's also an opportunity for us to co create with the universe. The universe is doing its dance, it's on its own agenda, and then we also have the opportunity to tune in, be receptive, and start co-creating and accepting the dance invitation to learn to dance with the flow of life, because I do believe that this is when life becomes so much more beautiful. And so, like we said, in this, you actually, the when the new moon happens, pretty much you have a window of about, let's say, 48 hours. Really, it's when the energy is very potent, where you can sit down, write down all your intention in your beautiful journal. I have my journal here. It's I love, love, love my journal. And I like have those little fancy journal with like luxurious paper. And when I open it, it always feels like such a, such a very precious moment. So I do encourage you to find a journal you like, find a pen you like. Right now, this just reminded me that I don't like the pen I have right now. I don't like the way it writes. I don't like the inks. I'm gonna have to go to go hunt a great pen, because there is There is so much magic in having a beautiful pen that writes beautifully with the ink that you like and on the paper of your journal, and then in the right energy of the universe. It's just almost feels like some Harry Potter stuff. So back to today's topic, right? So what I wanted to talk about today before I start digressing into, first of all, in Kabbalah, this is actually in the beginning of a new cycle. Today, well, new moon period is considered as the beginning of the month, whereas we are already starting the cycle of the next month, which is Cancer. So it's actually it's interesting because I'm navigating both at the same time, and I try my best to take what I find very meaningful and implement them here in ways that I think can help others. So, what would you like to manifest in this new cycle? And I will in the next episode explain more about how each, dive deeper into how each cycle is a little bit different. So if you're one of these people who think, oh, manifestation doesn't work, you've been doing it for so long and it's all a load of beep, well, there might be many reasons why you're doing it wrong. So do check out the next episode about manifesting with the lunar cycle, where I will dive deeper into that. But for today, I just wanted to say that this is the new moon period, and then we are entering the summer solstice on June 21st, I believe it is, so in about a week from today, and which is pretty much the official time, the official beginning of the summer season here in the northern hemisphere. And also, oh my goodness, this year and the next couple of years, I've given myself a little project where I I call it research. As an astrologer, it's part of my research project that I'm so excited about. I am gonna be testing various. I really want to be testing various region, as in astrocartography, traveling to various lines, so I can really report to you what's the difference when you're traveling on various lines, and in comparison, because a lot of time in theory we learn when you go to XYZ line things are amazing, but then when you go there in real life, it's a totally entirely different situation. But Steph, what does that have to do with new moon? Why are you talking about this now? Well, the reason why I'm saying that is because I actually ended up leaving Georgia, and I'm so excited. Nothing nothing to do with that, but oh my god, I felt the life coming back to me, and I couldn't wait to record this today. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I want to let you know to keep your eyes and your ears opened so you can see if astrocartography is something that is of interest to you. I am diving deep into the experience that you can really have once you travel to various astrocartography lines. So why I'm talking about this, because the moon is a very potent period, right? When I was in the previous location, I was on my moon line, and the moon line was hitting right directly on my ascendant line. And I won't get into this in today's episode, but oh my goodness, this can go all sorts of ways. And I'm saying that because I want you to understand that the moon is really powerful. We know that even in our culture, right? We do have the high tides, the low tides, we do have the full moon. Even, there's this anecdote, which is not really an anecdote because I've heard it confirmed many times, where various police stations in various cities around the world, around the full moon, they will put in more policemen, policewomen on, on call, because there tends to be a rise in crazy activities. People start acting crazier during the full moon period. So we can I'm giving various random examples to show you that the moon is powerful. And taking the time to manifest with the lunar cycle, it's our chance to really synchronize with the energy. Because we're always going through life. So many of us, it's very easy to get carried into that oh my goodness, there's another transit again. Everything that's happening right now. Oh my God, now what is Pluto doing in my life? Oh, my Saturn return is right around the corner. Oh goodness, please help me. It's very easy to fall into that mindset. Even me as an astrologer, I find myself in that, falling into that various times. So we need to be very mindful whenever we fall, because we will fall, we're humans, it's part of the journey. To quickly, the goal is not to spend too much time in that state of mind, and to quickly pull ourselves out. And that's why we also need other people in our team. That's why we don't do life alone, because we have other people to keep us in check, and also to help us do the journey of life together. And then we all have our own people, our own circle, and then that's how we do life in a supportive manner. So I want you to know that the moon is very, very potent way, and every time, every cycle, it falls into a different house, and this is when it's talking to you directly. And we're diving more into that in the next episode. But by the way, if you don't know which house the moon, it's falling, or you don't know anything about houses at all, you've never seen your birth chart, you have no idea what transit you're going through, no idea. Please do yourself a favor. You can book yourself a consultation with me. All the links are down below. Or go on the internet and pull out your birth chart and your transit. But then again, a lot of people get overwhelmed by the information that just starts showing up. So that's why you always have opportunities to do consultation with real astrologers. And yes, I know ChatGPT is a thing. Trust me, for research purposes, I also dive a lot in ChatGPT to see what is ChatGPT telling people. And pardon my French, but it's also a crapshoot. As in, so we won't get into that. We won't get into that today. I really want to stick to the outline for once. So back into the new one conversation, right? We want to sit down and ask yourself, what do you want to manifest in this cycle? And focus on the theme, right? Because Gemini is about communication, it's about media, it's about siblings, it's about short-term traveling, it's about all of these things, information, knowledge. So we want to align our wishes, our intentions with the theme, the flavor of the day. Now, you wouldn't go, I'm trying to come up with a crazy example. Now, you wouldn't, oh my goodness, I can think of anything. You wouldn't go to an ice cream parlor, right? And ask them for 1 kilogram of steak. Right. I'm pretty sure there's one ice cream parlor in the world that mixes them both together, just to make my example, not stand a chance. But in an average city, the ice cream parlor is its own thing, and then the butcher is another thing, right? So we want to stick to the theme of the month, and each new moon, each full moon will fall in a different sign, which tells you what the flavor of the month is, right? And then to make it even more personal, in your own birth chart, it falls into the specific house, which tells you in which sector of your life it wants to manifest. So we want to understand these things, right? For example, this is the new moon. That, like we said, that falls in Gemini, right? So think about, is there any project that you're working on? If you want to be, or you working on your personal project as an entrepreneur, or anything at work that you're doing that requires a new marketing campaign, now is the best time to set your intentions around that. If you want to, right, start a new business, or you want to do continuing education, go back to school to get your master's or your PhD, right? Or start a new program you've been wanting to pivot, right? This is the time. So that's what I mean when I say, let us stick with the intention of the month, right? Let us stick to the flavor of the month. And what else did I wanted to say? And the ruler of the month is Mercury. I mean, the ruler of this lunar cycle is Mercury, because Mercury rules Gemini. And since the new moon is falling into the sign of Gemini, that is why we say that the ruler is Mercury. And this is very important to understand because that's where I'm getting all this information about. Gemini is all about information, knowledge, things like that, because this is pretty much what Mercury governs. It's the thinking mind. It's that data, information, and fast. And this is how we navigate our world, right? And also, I will probably make another episode to talk about what we expect. And the reason why I brought up the whole Mercury being the flavor of the month, because this is every new moon kind of sets the energy of the month of the next 30 days to come, right? Since we said we are celebrating the new moon of Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury, then a Mercury that gives you that theme for this month, right? And by following what Mercury is doing, we can already see what is the general guidance for this month. When we start doing these lunar cycles, following them, we start saying that nothing is random in life. It's almost like there is a curriculum or a gentle dance, and then the energy is guiding us through that river, right? So, and also Mercury is about to go retrograde very, very soon. Still, I don't have my dates with me, but I do believe that it's starting around June, around the season. Don't quote me on that though, but it's already, and retrograding is all about us slowing down, introspection, revisiting things that happened recently, and with the purpose of integration, right? So we can already see that this is the theme that is gonna unfold this season, this lunar cycle. What I mean by that, the next 30 days. So again, take that opportunity, which is not surprising because, as we said, Mercury is all about communication, knowledge. So again, I am encouraging you, when you are setting your intention, do try to respect the flavor, because this is when your manifestation game is going to get to a whole other level. Because when we're saying manifestation doesn't work, it's often because we're doing so many things and we're all over the place, right? If Mercury is the ruler of the month, then you start talking and start setting intentions for something absolutely random that it doesn't even oversee. You know what I mean? It can be, let's take for example, let's say, right, you bringing up some Pisces theme, where some intuition things from some deep, something that has nothing to do with Mercury, right? This is like, I'm not saying it can't work, but the more we align ourselves with the flavor of the cycle, the more that energy can step in and support you. The best example I can give, instead of the Pisces, because the intentions, I mean, the intuitions are always going to be there. We always gonna, it's a good thing to always want to improve your intuition, right? But some months are gonna help you do that better than others. That's just a fact. And for example, last month we had Taurus. Taurus was ruled by Venus, and Venus is all about beauty, money. And in that case, right, you could see how the intention, the flavor is different, going from Venus, which oversees beauty, money, all of these things that we all want, versus Gemini, which is more of a logical brain, of a thinking mind, and words and information. And we can already see how it's two different domain, right? So the more we align ourselves with the flavor of the month, the energy of the month, the more that energy can come and support you. And this is when the manifestation game takes a whole other level. And then we understand that throughout the year we're given all of these different areas, all of these different chances to work, to manifest things. This is when I think life really start becoming magical. On that note, my love, I'm wrapping this episode, and I want to let you know, keep shining bright like a diamond, and stay tuned for the episodes to come, because my mind is pretty much blowing up right now. I have so many things I want to talk about, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.